Lily Burger posting. Hey, welcome. Good, very late evening or night or something. Hope you're both doing well. What am I looking for? Oh yeah, Twitch. That makes sense. I'm doing pretty decent. What about yourself? Let's see. Just finished eating some ice cream. So great. What kind was it? Anything interesting? Okay, I can see myself. That works. Hello. Osada, welcome. How's it going, Osada? Vanilla. I don't like other flavors. Nah, I get you. Vanilla is a safe bet. A safe bet for sure. It's been a while since I just had plain vanilla. Just relaxing. That's good. Good. But yeah, we'll be reading some light bedtime stories. Nothing too crazy. Should be snooze inducing for sure. But they might be interesting. I'm not really I don't know how they'd be interesting, but maybe. I already slept so much. I drank like 5 cups of coffee. Ah, I see. 5 cups of coffee is kind of a lot, don't you think? Now that I think about it, it's quite the amount. True. You are traveling, so makes sense. Oh, embarrassing day. Like at work, maybe? What was so embarrassing about your day? Well, you don't have to like talk about it. Might be too embarrassing. That's fair enough. No way. Nosy neighbors seeing all the embarrassing moments, of course. That sucks, actually. Sorry that happened to you. It was so embarrassing. I don't see them for months. The one time you see them, they see you fumble like that. That's so unfortunate. The trip was pretty quick, no delays. That's excellent to hear. I've been pretty. It's been a great day. Nothing exciting has happened. Pretty boring. Hello, Nate. How are you? That's good, I suppose. It's better than having a horrible day. Good. How am I? I'm doing pretty decent. But yeah, should be. Why did I think about this to have a reading day? I'm not sure. It's a very interesting schedule for sure. Let's see. What am I even looking for? I guess I'll load up some stories. I have one already. I'd probably need more, so I will do that. Stories. Woo. So fun and exciting. Thank you for the energy. I'll probably need it. Appreciate it a lot, Osana. Honestly, these should be interesting reads. Lots of variety. Thanks for the love. And see with the rhythm. No. Wait, can you guys hear me when my screen goes off? Is that like a thing? I didn't hear it. Thank you, Osana. Yeah, I'll load up 3 and We'll just see what sounds more interesting to you guys. Tear. So late. At 11:11. Well, maybe not for you. Hello. I'm pretty sure. Same time zone. No sleep tonight. I'll be strong. I believe in your strength. Oh, wow. 11 p.m. EDT. Yeah, what a time. I wanted to come in here at a time no one really is around, but you know, Rumpelstiltskin. I kind of want to read this. I've always heard about him, but I don't really know what he's about. I wonder if that's the one that asks for your firstborn child, right? I remember him having red hair in Shrek. Short, weird guy. I don't remember the movie much, though. Ah, I see. That's nice. W Mom. I'm sure reading has a ton of benefits. But yeah, we'll start in like a few minutes. 5, the latest. Oh, right when you type that, I see Pinocchio. Right on cue. Like if you're bad, you turn into a creature and disappear. Ah, that's true. You go to a carnival or amusement park, whichever one. Turned into a donkey. Pretty sure that's Pinocchio. What better way to promote a lesson but through fear? It's great. How the toe got his bruises? Huh? That's an interesting title. Blossom, Malcolm. Okay, we have 4 options. Oh yeah, I was doing something. What did you miss? Not much. Just talking, selecting things to maybe read. This his toe looks very I don't know. It's a bit off. Toad. Uh, Toad. Ah, Toad. Indeed. Toe? What? Okay. WB. I kind of want to see what this Toad is about. Maybe it's depressing. So it's either the Toad, Rumpelstiltskin, or the Pied Piper. The Toad. What are you doing, well, Boston? Okay, too. I'm not going. I'll toss you somewhere. Tsukimi, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Yeah, let's go with the Toad. See what's happening there. It can't be that bad. It's like A plus. Guys, I'm about to. You know what? I'm deleting it. If you can't tell between a Toad and a toe, it's over for you. Better. Forgiven. Your display is amazing. Let's see. All right. I'll switch to some more nighttime music. The happy birthday song is still there. Funny. Mm, let's see. Bedtime Musica. I mean, it's alright. It's for like ambient music, noise. Mm, this is better, I think. Is everything alright? Music not blaring too much, too loud. Music slaps. Music's good. Sounds good. Alright. Uh, once upon a time, ages and ages ago, the toad had a smooth skin. That's alright. The toad had a smooth skin. Alright. In those days, he was a great gadabout. He never could be found in his own house. Okay. If anyone had a party, he was sure to go, no matter how far away from home it was held or how long it took to get there. One day, the toad received an invitation to attend a party in the sky. I think I get this. I know this. You never can get to this party, said his friend, the armadillo. You know how slowly you travel here upon Earth. Wait and see the weather or not. I go to the party, said the toad. Not far from the toad's house, there lived a big black buzzard. No one liked the buzzard. He was very unpopular with all the birds and bees. The toad hopped over to the buzzard's house. The buzzard was outside the door making music on his violin. Good morning, said. Good morning, friend buzzard, said the toad. Are you going to attend the party in the sky? The buzzard replied that he was planning to go. That is good, said the toad. May I have the pleasure of being in your company for the trip? The buzzard was delighted to have the toad seek his company. It was a new experience. I'll be charmed to go to a party with you, replied the buzzard. What time shall we start? We'll start at 4 o'clock, said the toad. Come to my house and we'll go from there. Be sure to bring your violin with you. It's like bringing the guitar. Funny. Promptly at 4 o'clock, the buzzard arrived at the toad's house. He had his violin with him, of course, because the toad had asked him to bring it. I'm not quite ready to go, the toad called out. I'm not quite ready to go, the toad called out. Just leave your violin then there by the door and step inside. It will take me only a minute to finish my toilet. The buzzard laid his violin carefully outside the door and went inside the toad's house. The toad jumped through the window and hid himself inside the violin. The buzzard waited and waited for the toad to get ready, but he did not hear a word from the toad. Finally, he grew tired of waiting and picked up his violin and started. When he arrived at the party, he was a trifle late, but he explained how he had to wait for a toad. How foolish to wait a minute for a toad, said the host. How could the toad ever get to a party in the sky? We just asked him as a joke because he was such a great gadabout. Lay down your violin and come to the feast. The buzzard laid down his violin. As soon as there was no one looking, out hopped the toad. He was laughing from ear to ear. So, they thought I would not come to the party. What a joke. How surprised they'll be to see me here, he said. There was nobody at the feast who was as happy as the toad. When the buzzard asked how he arrived, he said, I'll tell you some other day. I'm serious. Then he went on eating and dancing. The buzzard did not have a very good time at the party. He decided to go home early. He went away without saying goodbye to the host and without taking his violin with him. At the end of the party, the toad hopped inside the violin and waited for a buzzard to take him home. Nobody picked up the violin. The toad began to be very much worried. He wished he had not come. After a while, a falcon noticed the violin. That violin belongs to the buzzard. He must have forgotten to take it home. I'll carry it back for him, he said. The falcon flew towards the earth with the violin. This toad shook about terribly inside the violin. He got very tired. The falcon got tired too. I'm not going to carry this heavy old violin of the buzzards for another minute, said the falcon. I was foolish to offer to carry it in the first place. The buzzard is no friend of mine. He let the violin fall down towards the earth it fell. Oh little stones, get out of my way, called the toad as he fell. The little stones had deaf ears. They did not get out the way. The toad crawled out the wrecked violin. He was covered with bruises. He was so covered with bruises that he could hardly hop home. The buzzard never knew what became of his violin, or the toad, or why the toad had lost his good looks. To this very day, the toad shows his views. No, to this very day, the toad shows his bruises, and he is entirely cured of being gad about. Oh, so it doesn't go out rough. I thought I recognized this story, but Hikikomori Toad doesn't want to show off those bruises, I suppose. Or doesn't want to remember falling from the sky. I found it weird how they kind of described the buzzard as the way I liked him, but he was going to a party anyway. Was it just an invitation for everyone? Kind of weird plot point, but I understand. Pretty good story. If you can get up there, kind of invite. Anyone's allowed, I guess. Bird party. I mean, what else is flying? You think there's bugs at that party? Are they sentient? I wouldn't make it up there for real. Let's see. Give us a ride in the magic bus, I'm sure. Yeah, I could take it out. Make your flying experience more entertaining, I suppose. For sure. But I don't know. Those are only for educational purposes or educational trips. Why party? Doesn't really suit the tone of the bus. Whoa. Okay, fair enough. Sounds good. Princess Anne and the Ogre. Shrek. Maybe. Maybe that is the origin of Shrek. Or maybe these are the origins of Shrek. Literally just watched it. Why'd you watch Shrek? It's not a Shrek stream. It's just a coincidence. Love the movies. Ah, I see. I watched Shrek a month ago. It's been a good couple of years since I watched a Shrek movie. It's been an hour. Incredible. You're living the life. How would I say this? Hamlin? Let's see. Eating what?
Hamlin.
Hamlin. Okay, that makes sense. Oh yeah, that was probably loud. My mistake. I ate Chinese food. It was so good. Glad it was good. It's mid down south. My dumpling craving also really loud. My mistake. Won't happen anytime soon. Don't worry. Give me a second. Oh, great. No one started freaking out. I was going a second. Welcome, Benny. Mon. I've been lost, Mon. It works out then. Too sleepy to panic, I fear. Perfect. Yeah, we'll go with the Pied Piper. I'm interested to see what's going on there. Ah, okay. Can you still hear the music? Also, maybe. I'll take it as a yes. You guys can still hear the music. All right. A long time ago, as all good stories start out, the German town of Hamlin was attacked by rats. They were no ordinary rats, but huge black monsters. They were so brazen that they ran about the streets, even during the day. They were everywhere, in the food, in the rooms, even in your shoes. There were rats everywhere you looked. The people of Hamlin tried everything, but the more rats they killed, the more seemed to multiply. They were at their wits' end when, one day, a strange man walked into town. His mustache resembled a rat's tail. His yellow eyes only just peeped out from under his big hat. His nose was crooked. He played his flute and walked straight down to the town hall. In the town hall, the council had just met. The stranger announced that he could get rid of the city's rat plague, but they would have to pay him well. The citizens did not trust him and cried out that the man was just a magician. That's okay. Not bad. However, the clever mayor had a good plan. He reassured the people that the flute player speaks the truth. Then he has sent the rats to us in order to make a lot of money. I will not allow it. Just watch me. The people trusted the mayor and let him go his way. Ah, that's unfortunate. Welcome, Yo-Yo. A stranger came to the mayor and said, just for one silver coin, poor head, I'll chase all the rats out of the city before morning. The counselors began to wail. 1 coin a head would amount to a huge sum, but the mayor shrugged his shoulders and said, for every head, you'll get 1 silver coin. Wow, man's about to make a killing. That evening, wait, interesting. That evening, the flute player would begin. The inhabitants were not allowed to walk the streets while he was working, but they could watch him from the houses. The flute player stood in the market square, and in the first rays of the moon, he began to play his flute. It began as a soft and lovely sound, but it became louder and more incessant. Soon it could be heard in the whole town. Immediately, the rats came shooting from everywhere. They ran in long lines towards the flute player. He turned and walked, still playing his flute, towards the river. Here, he made the rats jump into the river one by one. Last of all, the king of rats arrived at the river. This old rat turned white with age. Were that all of them, my friend? The flute player asked. Yes, replied the rat. All 990,900, all 990,999. Then the white rat also jumped into the river, and the flute player returned to Hamlin satisfied. That night, for the first time in ages, the people of Hamlin slept well. The next morning, the flute player reported to the counselor, I would chase away all 999,999 rats. I have to collect my money. Well, let's go count all those heads then, replied the mayor. The rat catcher had not counted on that. The heads, he shouted angrily. The heads! And go and find them in the river. The mayor reacted calmly. If you don't honor the agreement, we don't have to pay either. But you have done us a service, so we will gladly give you 50 silver coins. Keep the reward, cried the rat catcher. You children will, you children will pay, your children will pay me. And with these words, he ran out of town. Nobody in Hamlin took the rat catcher's threat seriously. The next day, they went to church, carefree. But when they got home, they got shocked. They got the shock of their lives. All the children had disappeared without a trace. Right? And then 3 little boys ran in and, what? Then 3 little boys came running into town and told a terrible story. While all the adults were in church, the children had heard beautiful music. They had gone outside, and a few rat catchers. They had gone outside and saw the rat catcher standing there, while the stranger kept on playing. He ran out of town with all the children following him to the big mountain. The mountain wall had magically opened, and all the boys and girls had run inside. all the three boys only 3 boys accidentally stayed outside. Oh, I see. These pictures are hilarious. The mountain open? Indeed. Everyone in Hamlin was miserable. No matter how hard they searched, the children were nowhere to be found. The mayor in particular felt horrible and terribly guilty. His son, daughter had also disappeared. No one knew where the children had gone. There was only 150 it was only 150 years later that someone became okay, let me zoom in. It's so far away. It was only 150 years later that something became known about the missing children. Some merchant from the bureau had come to Hamlin and told her about a region in Romania where the inhabitants spoke only German, while the rest of the population spoke Romanian. And since then, the people of Hamlin believe that the inhabitants of Transylvania are the descendants of the missing children from Hamlin, and no one contradicts them. Oh, I wonder how much real life implication it has. Is this just like an allegory to how Transylvania existed? That was interesting. It took some turns. The rat catcher just coming and taking all the kids to the mountain. Strange. And the rat king could talk. That's very interesting as well. That's crazy. What's going on at Hotel Transylvania? I have no clue. I'm pretty sure it's turning into a motel very soon. That's what I've heard, at least. Mm. Yeah, these pictures are killing me. I thought they were AI at first, but nah, they just seem like old oil paintings. There's like rats climbing onto the table where the family is eating. And I guess the mother has a spoon trying to hit them or shoo them away. There's pictures. There are. Mina, welcome. Let's see. There are indeed children. I mean, pictures. When I say children, yikes. Children, no. Mm. Open a new tab. We're hearing about some classics. How fun. All these stories sound familiar, but only the first part kind of lose me in the middle of it or the end. Mm. Okay. Yes. Yes, yes. The ogre in the woods. Incredible. The emperor's new clothes. I'm pretty sure we all know about that one. It's a classic. Yeah, new clothes. What happened to the cruise? It wasn't invented yet. Me who doesn't know. It's a quick story. I'm pretty sure these are more based off of the original anyway. So it's good. No new nonsense. There was an emperor who loved new clothes. So much that he spent all his money on them. His favorite thing was to show off his new clothes. One day, two swindlers came to the palace. They said that they were weavers. They could make a special, invisible fabric. Stupid and dishonest people could not see the fabric. The emperor thought it was a great idea to buy this fabric. In this way, he would discover which of his subjects were dishonest, or stupid. He gave the swindlers a lot of money. And they started weaving. They ordered the most beautiful fabrics and pretended to work very hard. But in fact, they put all the money in their own pockets and made nothing at all. A little later, the emperor was curious to see if the clothes were ready. He was also nervous. Imagine that he himself could not see the new clothes. So, he first sent the clever man. When he saw the empty looms, he was shocked. Oh no, there was nothing to see. But he said nothing. The swindler showed him the clothes. But again, he saw nothing. He thought, am I so terribly stupid? No one should ever know about this. So he told the emperor the clothes were beautiful. The weavers laughed contentedly. They asked for more money and put it all into their own pockets. Then the emperor sent the honest man. But the man too saw nothing at all. He was sure he was not stupid. So he then weird. Okay. He was sure he was not stupid. So he was that's just how it reads. Okay. Cool. So he was serious, certainly wasn't honest. Of course, no. No one was supposed to know that. That's just a weird English thing, I suppose. The emperor sent an honest man, but this man too saw nothing at all. He was sure he was not stupid. So it must just be something missing, I guess. Of course, no. He was supposed to know that. So he too pretended to be honest and said the clothes were beautiful. Then the emperor went to see for himself. He took a lot of people with him, including a clever and honest man. They said, look, Your Majesty, how beautiful these clothes are. They thought that other people could see the clothes. The emperor thought, I can't see anything. Am I stupid or dishonest? That would be terrible. He too pretended to see the clothes. All his people didn't see anything either, but said the clothes were beautiful. The next day, there was a festive procession. The whole night before, The imposters pretended to work hard. In the morning, the emperor and his court went to see them again, and the weaver said, "The clothes are as light as cobwebs." It looks as if they weren't any. It looks as if aren't wearing anything at all. But that is what makes them so beautiful. Everyone shouted, but no one could see anything because there was nothing to see. The emperor took off his old clothes and put on the new clothes. He could not see anything in the mirror, but everyone shouted how beautiful those clothes are. Wow, they did him so dirty in this picture. Outside, the royal carriage was ready for the procession. "Look at my new clothes," said the emperor. "Don't they suit me?" The chamberlains had to lift the drag and pretend to see clothes. So began the procession of the emperor in his new clothes. All the people on the street shouted how beautiful the new clothes were and how long the drag was. No one wanted to show that they could not see anything at all because of that because that would mean they were stupid or dishonest. But suddenly, a small child shouted, "The emperor is not wearing anything." And as soon as the news spread to them, and soon the news spread that the emperor was naked. All the people shouted, "The emperor is not wearing anything." Then the emperor heard when the when the emperor heard this, he believed that the people were right, but that it would be better if he pretended to not be wearing clothes. And so his chamberlains just continued to lift his drag. Okay, you just went with it, roll with the punch. That's cool. I guess the children are the most honest beings in a way. It be what it be. It be what it be. Indeed. I didn't even It's definitely nice to have this story fleshed out in my head. I only knew bits and pieces, but I knew like the overall the overarching plot of what happened. It's cool to experience it. I never heard this story. It's a classic. The elves and the shoemaker. This thumbnail is diabolical. I never read the OG fully. No thoughts, just grooves. The land of Kakagani? Kakagani? Weird. I'm not even sure what this is about. Have you ever heard of the land of Kakagani? No, I haven't. The, um, the cover or a thumbnail is just people drinking from a fountain of red liquid. Seems like a nightmare. Maybe I'll skip this one. Mm. The goose girl at the well. Goose girl at the well. That sounds interesting. Maybe I have no knowledge of what this is about. It'll be a surprise. Actual news story. Long ago, an old woman stumbled into the forest to pick grass and fruit. Wow, grass. She carried the heavy bag on her back. She kindly greeted everyone she met on the way. Good morning, friend. You may be surprised by what I'm carrying, but everyone has their burden to carry. Mostly people would rather not run into her. An old witch, she was called. Wow, what an intro. Okay. One day, a handsome young man was walking through the forest. He saw the woman filling a large basket with grass. Next to it were two large baskets of apples and pears. How are you going to carry all that? The young man was curious. Rich folks' children don't have to do that. Like, rich folks' children don't have to do that. But with peasant folk, the saying goes, don't look behind you. You will only see how crooked your back is. What is this nightmare painting? Welcome back. Will you help me? The old woman asked. I am the son of a rich count, replied the young man. I don't have to do it, but I will help you. Once the bag was on his back, he felt like it was filled with rocks. How heavy is this? He began to complain. You're young and well muscled, the woman said. I'll add the apples and pears. When he tried to remove the heavy load from his back, the woman snarled, Shame on you for shame on you for grumbling about something you have to carry, which I do every day as an old woman. It was as if the bag had attached itself to his back, and it became heavier and heavier. When the woman sat on his back, it became heavier when the woman sat on his back. Now stop whining, she growled. You'll be generously rewarded for your help. Near the little woman's remote house, geese were walking everywhere. They were being looked at by a very old goosekeeper. They were being looked over by a very old goosekeeper. Go inside, my daughter, she said to the goosekeeper. Interesting. Then she gave the boy a box with an emerald. You must have enough money, but this gift will make you happy. Hello, Microsoft Tech Support. Glad to see you. My computer is dying. The young count left for the big city. There he was invited by the royal couple. He gave the box to the queen, who immediately fainted. Later, she told him about her three daughters. The youngest was enchantingly beautiful, with hair like rays of sunshine. When she cried, her tears turned into pearls. One day, the king wanted to know who loved him the most. The eldest daughter said that she loved him like the sweetest sugar. The second daughter loved him like the most beautiful dress. The youngest did not answer, but she could not, because she could not find a comparison. The king insisted, whereupon she said, I do not like food without salt, therefore I love you like salt. The king became angry. The king became so angry that he sent her into the forest. Shortly afterwards, he regretted this enormously. He sent out a search party to look for his daughter in vain. That was 3 years ago. In the box was a pearl exactly like the tear from his daughter. The young man promised to go search for the princess. One evening, he saw the old goose herd by the spring. The moonlight was crisp and clear. He could see everything clearly. She removed the kind of mask from her face and changed into a breathtakingly beautiful young woman. Her hair broke forth like sunbeams. The old woman did not seem surprised when there was a knock at the door. It was the king and queen. They traveled a long way. You had traveled a long way, she said kindly. It, it would not be it would not have been necessary if you had not sent your daughter away for 3 years. She thought that the royal couple had been. Give me a second. She thought that the royal couple had now been punished long enough and called the beautiful princess. The king asked what could he give his daughter, but she needed nothing. For 3 years she had cried pearls of sorrow. Now she was rich enough. The old woman gave her a house, then suddenly disappeared into the air. Thin air. The house turned into a splendid palace. What? Whether the young count, whether a young count and the princess married is unknown, but it is very likely. No one knows who the old woman was. It's thought that she may have been given the newborn princess's tears and pearls. Nowadays, such things do not happen anymore. If it did, there would be no more poor people in this world. The narrator of the story has become very old and doesn't remember all. It all happened a long time ago. That's crazy. I'm a little lost, but I understand. No, it kind of abruptly turned into like a palace. She just gave her the home, and it instantly turned into a castle. That kind of threw me off. That wasn't like a bad reading thing. It's literally just how it happened. But you know what? Okay, I get it. I don't really like that one. Yeah, it's kind of jumbled, I think. Definitely the weakest of the stories. Mm, the 12 Huntsmen. That sounds familiar, but honestly, I have no clue. I'll save it. Mm, let's see. Rapunzel. We all know about Rapunzel. The wild swans. What? Sounds interesting. Maybe. Mm. I wish there was a synopsis or something. Just get a bit of a glance at what it's about. But you know, no synopsis at all. I know, right? Mm. I guess it's like somewhat of a mystery box. Thank you for the energy, dear. I need it. I appreciate you. Mm. Mm. Let's see. The Master Maid, huh? Interesting. This art is very bad. uh, there's like this little dude with some type of trash crown that looks like little needles in his maybe right eye. It doesn't even have a pupil. This might be AI. Oh yeah. Oh, never mind. I think that's like an. Now some of these are definitely like AI things. I think that's due to maybe hmm, maybe being newer and not having old oil paintings about them, like a telegram. Brother and sister. Oh, oh brother. This, yeah. The story is literally called Brother and Sister. I'm not sure what to expect from it, but it has a deer trying to enter the home while this guy has like some type of pole. Yeah, this the sister, I guess, is opening a door for a deer, and the brother is behind a tree with some type of stick. Maybe it's like a dart blower. Oh, this could be crazy. No, the sister is going to be a girl failure. Maybe, quite possibly. Hmm. Okay, we'll read this. Hmm. Ever since mother passed on, brother and sister did not have a good life. Their mean stepmother gave them little to eat and treated them very badly. Knox, welcome. Yeah, this reads a bit stiff, I think, already. How are you doing, Knox? Just woke up. I see. Hope it was a good sleep. We're just reading stories at the moment. Little tales. Yeah, I'll start over from the beginning. Wait, maybe, I guess ever since their mother passed on. Brother and sister did not have a good life. Their mean stepmother gave them little to eat and treated them very badly. One day, brother said to sister, "Come, sister, we'll run away together. Our life here is not good anymore." And so they did. They walked all day until they came upon a large forest in the evening. There, they fell asleep, sad and hungry. I see. The next morning, brother woke up very thirsty. Together, they went to search for water. But as soon as the wicked stepmother had discovered that brother and sister had run away, she had bewitched all the water in the forest. She was also a wicked witch. So when brother had found a stream to drink from, little sister heard a whispered voice. "Whoever drinks from me will become a tiger." So sister cried out to alarm brother, but that he should not drink the water because he would become a wild beast. At the next spring, the same thing happened. Sister heard, "He who drinks from me will become a wolf." And so brother did not drink anything. He became so thirsty that he could hardly stand it any longer. At the next spring, the voice whispered, "He who drinks from me will become a roe." But the brother was so thirsty that he took a sip anyway. Immediately, he turned into a little deer. Brother and sister were both very sad that the brother turned into a roe. Nevertheless, they went on together. Sister tied a golden ribbon from her hair onto the deer's neck. She also made a cord of reeds, and she tied the collar. She tied it to the collar and led the little brother further and further into the woods. After a long walk, brother and sister came to an empty house. Here they lived a quiet life. One day, the king of the country held a hunting party in the forest. Little brother heard the cheerful cries of the hunters, the barking of dogs, the sound of horns. This excited him so much that he wanted to go outside immediately. The sister tried to stop him, but the brother begged her to let him go. She finally agreed, but he had to promise to come back in the evening. When he came to the door, that's what he said. Okay, when he came to the door, he had said, "Sister dear, let me in," so she would know it's him. Ah, I see, a secret code. He's a talking deer, literally. Brother had a wonderful day in the forest. The hunters chased him, but they never caught him. The next day, they went hunting again, and brother managed to escape until it almost got dark. One of the hunters slightly wounded the roe's leg. Slowly, the brother hobbled back to the cottage, called out, "Sister, dear, let me in." The hunter had sneaked up behind him and heard this. He immediately told the king, "He's a rat." What a snitch. The next day, the king went. The next day, the king went hunting one more time. The brother's leg had already healed, and he went outside. Wow, impressive. Sister could not stop him. Brother ran through the forest all day. The king had told his hunters to not hurt the deer. In the evening, the king went to his cottage, and the king went to the cottage the hunter told him about. He said, "Sister dear, let me in." The sister opened the door. How surprised she was to see the king standing there and said to her little brother, The king fell in love with her immediately and took her to his castle. And the little brother was allowed to come along. For a long time, they lived happily in a castle. When the evil stepmother heard of this, she became furious. She devised a ruse to kill the sister. Fortunately, the king discovered this, and the witch was condemned. He burned her at the stake, and as soon as she was dead, brother became human again. From then on, brother and sister lived happily ever after. That's crazy. It's such a perfect ending. So happy. That doesn't happen often. Yeah, the king is young, I suppose. Felt like an old man type thing. I'm glad he was just a young man, I suppose. I'll save these pictures and post them later so you guys can get some context. Yeah, did they did they say that the brother got shot in the leg and he healed the next day? It's kind of impressive. What's the healing like that? What's the healing factor like? Magic or something? Literally. Quite literally. Let's see. What on is next? I wonder how the sister could hear like that. Must be like a young maiden thing, you know? Young maidens have powers, or sensitive, some nonsense like that. And how she was not thirsty must be a young maiden thing, you know? How it's all hinging on that. Yeah, I was wondering how she was not suffering from thirst either. I just chalked it up to the witch cursing her brother, like with thirst. But also, I guess he's a little bro, so he's like a kid. So he probably got thirsty first, like a bum. Made built different. I would know. Fair. Fair enough. How old witch Nita stole the moon and sun. Whoa. That's a big feat. Even Gru couldn't even pull that off. And she took the whole sun as well. I'm interested. The artwork is very good too. It's not like an AI piece. It's really solid. Base, indeed. Are you guys interested in this witch still in the moon and stars? Whatever. Yes. Okay. Once upon a time, even witches, literally. Hopefully, you go witch the sun Seems like it. Once upon a time, thousands and thousands of years ago. I expect for no one to ever have heard the witch Nita in these days. An old witch named Nita used to jump on her broomstick with another broom in her hand. She used to fly about the sky, brushing away the cobwebs, as she called them. Okay. What she really did was brush away the little rain clouds that the stars used for veils when they were tired of shining. What? Double wielding a broom? Incredible. You let your veils stay away from our faces. Wait. Okay. You let our veils stay away from our faces, said the little stars, quite angry with the old witch Nita. It's a bit of a weird wording. Older tell. We want them, you wicked old witch. Go away, go away. But the witch Nita would only laugh and cackle and go on about her brooming, sweeping away the cobwebs. Silly little stars, said the old witch Nita. They would have the sky in the most untidy state, if not for me. I have to sweep every night. If I didn't, the sky would be filled with these cobwebs. Veils indeed. Those silly little things do not know the difference between a veil and a cobweb. Wow. One night the stars were all wearing their veils when the witch came along. Nita with her broom whisked them off, and the little stars were so angry they forgot their nice manners, and many of them rushed the old witch Nita, darting like little sharp points right into her face, making her wink and blink so that she could not see where she was going. She bumped right into the moon, who had just come out from behind a cloud to see what was going on. Look out where you're going, old witch, he called. Old Nita dropped her broom and made a grab for the moon. She caught him. She caught him too, right by the nose. Here, here, here. Let go on my nose, he cried out. The old witch Nita did not let go. She hung and carried him off. She hung on and carried him off to her house on top of the high mountain. She's insane. What are these feats? Got your nose. The literal moon. Oh my god. Okay. I'll give those silly stars something to cry about, said the old witch Nita. She opened the dark closet and threw the moon in. They won't have any moonlight for a while. And if they get the sun, I can have things all my own way in the sky. Wait. They won't have any moonlight for a while. And if I can get the sun, I can have things all my way in the sky and make those stars sorry they were so rude to me tonight. The next day, the sun was shining, not thinking a thing about any harm coming to him. Juanita put her smoked glasses and her high-top cap and long black cape on. That's crazy. She's got the drip. Smoked glasses? I wonder how those look. I guess they're just sunshades. She then jumped onto her broomstick and flew straight for the sun. Of course, the stars were asleep and could not warn the sun. He thought it was a black cloud he saw sailing towards him. Ah, now I can take a little nap, he said. Here comes the black cloud, which I can hide behind for a while. I do get so sleepy, shining all day. And then the sun gave a yawn and, and just about to get ready for his nap. But something happened. He didn't just know what, but before he could stop the yawn, he felt a jerk, and then he was covered by something black and whizzed along at a terrible rate of speed. He did not know where. Strange. There. I guess I can run things to suit myself now. That's literally what it says. There, I guess I can run things to suit myself now. I can't understand. Okay, said the old witch Nita as she took from under her cape the sun, winking and blinking and wondering whatever had happened to him. Into the dark closet with the moon through the sun and closed the door. Of course, the stars awoke as soon as it was dark. And it became dark right away when old Nita stole the sun. So the little stars shone and winked all night, all day, because the sun did not get up. They did not know when the night was over. The next night, they twinkled. The next day, and the next day. And then they began to get so sleepy they could not keep their bright eyes open. One by one, they began to nod. I wonder what can be the matter with us, said one star, trying to keep awake. This is the longest night I've ever saw. Crazy. And I wonder where the moon is, said another. If we could see him, we might find out why the sun is so lazy this morning. The old witch Nita was flying about, hidden beneath her black cape. She laughed to herself as she heard the stars chatter. I can tell you where the sun is, and the moon too, she said, throwing off her cape and showing herself to the stars. I have them both locked in the closet in my house. And off she flew on her broomstick, leaving the poor little stars quite speechless in amazement. Something must be done, and done at once, said one star. If we let that old witch have the sun and moon, who knows what will become of us? But what can we do? Asked another star. Here we are, up here in the sky. Old Nita's house is on top of a mountain. Besides that, she would keep a close watch over them. You may be sure. Some closet. This is insane. One of us must go down there and let them out, the first star said. Now, which one of us will go? That is the first thing to settle. A bit delusional, mayhaps. No one answered for a minute. Then the very little star said timidly, I'm willing to go, but I'm so small, I do not suppose I could do any good. You're very one to go, just because you are small, the first star said. And now I will tell you how it can be done. The old witch Nita will be up here tonight, you may be sure, because she is happy now that she has the sun and moon and wants to see how unhappy we are. When she comes tonight, let's make a great fuss and cry because we're so upset, not knowing when it's night or day. Okay. When she comes tonight, we must make a great fuss and cry because we are so upset not knowing when night or day is, and beg her to help us. She will fly across the sky and around close to us. And when she is very near Little Star, we must wail and cry and attract her attention. And Little Star must jump on a and the Little Star must jump on a broomstick right behind the old witch Nita. Oh, said all the stars. Oh, they're crying, I guess. Wow, I suppose. For their for they were afraid of the old witch Nita, but the little star did not cry out. She just winked and blinked and listened to what the first star said. As I said, continued the first star, the little star must jump on a broomstick right behind the old witch Nita, and then close her eyes until the old witch comes through her house on top of the mountain. This is so interesting. Of course, she can only take just one look then, just to see where the old witch goes. The little star must stay very still until the old witch goes to bed, for she usually sleeps in the daytime. When all is still and you're sure the old witch Nita sleeps, then you must go about very carefully and quietly until you find the closet where the sun and moon are kept prisoners, and then lock the door. But, but what good will that do? Asked the little star, or asked one star. They would be out of your closet, but how do we ever get them back to their place in the sky? The old witch will never bring them to us, of course. Wait, my dear sister, and I will tell you even how that can be managed, said the first star. How this guy is the plan guy. After you release the sun and moon, little star, you must hurry to a place where the old witch keeps her magic broomstick and jump onto it. Smooth it three Smooth it 3 times one way and 3 times the opposite direction, and it will obey you. I see. You must be careful, however, to smooth it but one way until you have the sun and moon safely with you. Yeah, that's how it works. But hush, hush, here comes the old witch. The old witch cackled and chuckled when she heard the wailing and crying of the stars. They were making a fuss over the loss of the sun and moon. Oh, give them back to us. Give them back to us, they cried. We will never be rude to you again, even when you pull our veils off. Aha! Aha! said the old witch, laughing loudly. I guess you won't be rude to me, my silly little stars, for I intend to keep the old moon and sun locked up in my closet and make you shine all the time till you're sleepy and fall out of the sky. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, cried the stars all together. The old Nita flew close to them for a better look to see how they suffered. Then the little star did as the first star told her to do. The next instant, she was flying along with the old witch Nita toward her house on top of the mountain. Little star looked just once and saw the old Nita go into the house. Then she closed her eyes and waited until she was sure the witch was asleep. Very, very carefully, she opened the door and slipped in. Then she looked around from under the door. She saw a very bright light and knew that behind that door was the sun and moon. The key was in the door. It only took a second to turn it. Hush, said little star. I have come to release you. Do not make a sound and just follow me. Yeah, she's really taking it to heart. Little Star. Little Star took from a chair the old witch Nita's big black cape and threw it over the sun and moon. So bright light wouldn't awaken the old witch. And in another minute, they were all sitting on a broomstick. While Lotus Star soothed it 3 times one way and 3 times the other, and then said, "Off to the sky. Take us home, good broomstick." Away they flew in a short time. The sun was shining in the sky just as if nothing happened to him, and the stars went to sleep soundly. They were so tired. The little star that night took her place in the sky very quietly, but the other stars wanted to know all about her adventure. Yes, literally. "Oh, I just did as the first star told me," modestly replied the little star, "and brought back the sun and moon. That was all." "You're a brave little star," said the first star, "and as a reward, the broomstick of the old witch." "What?" "You're a brave little star," said the first star, "and as a reward, the broomstick of the old witch has been made into stars, in which it has to be made into a big cross. And what? And in this cross forever shall you shine, and you will take on more brightness than any of us, brave, brave little star." Of course, the old witch, having lost her broomstick, could not bother the stars anymore. So they shone and twinkled happily on. What? This is crazy. Always feeling grateful, little star, for helping them. Always feeling grateful to the little star for helping them out of their great trouble. That's I can't imagine how the proportions are. The sun and moon, on a broomstick, and the witch. How big is the witch? How big is the home? Is she just like an average sized person? Huge witch queen? Yeah, she's definitely not just an average person. Now I think about it. How big is the sun? The stars were just coming and attacking her. But you know how far away stars are. It's not like a faster than light feed. It's insane. A block of cheese sauce, apparently. The stars came to square up. They did. That was quite something. I've never even heard of anything like that. It was good. Yeah. It read a bit difficult. It was a bit difficult to read, but I patched up most of the places over trouble. It was a good time. Welcome back. Yeah, I guess this is like a kid story, so we shouldn't think about it too logically. But you could. It's funner that way. The talking animals. That sounds terrible. I'm not a big fan. I just read a story about a talking deer. I'm not even gonna ask. The art is pretty gross too. The bears have mouse ears and like cheeks that hang from their faces. Maybe these are like supposed to be like dog ears under the mouse ears. Yeah, this is and they have like 11 fingers on each paw, or 11 claws. What? Ew, yeah, quite cursed. That's definitive proof that they are just slapping this into an AI. hmm Let's see. Is there another one? Time moved really fast. I could have sworn it was only, we were just hitting an hour a few minutes ago. Now we're close to 2. Surprised it didn't pass out. I guess interacting helped a bit, for sure. St. George and the Dragon? Wait a second. Impressive tier. Mhm. I think I've heard of this story a bit. I'm not sure. It's a long one, too. I don't know. It's like 2 times the last one, at least. Maybe not a long one. Maybe not. It's an epic. Honestly, it's not that bad. It doesn't seem that bad. Mm. Oh, we only have a few months left. Maybe you can finish it though. Months? Yeah, maybe 1 word a day. I'm interested. A long, long ago, as all stories start. Okay. Long, long ago, before things that happened were written down in history books, a spiteful fairy came into the castle of an English king. She saw a beautiful baby boy, the king's little son, lying asleep, and out of mischief, she ran away with him and left her own ugly little fairy baby there instead. That is an insane intro. And that was all separated into like a whole bunch of commas. Very choppy read. Her own little ugly fairy baby. Incredible. I'll save that. But, but when she had stolen a baby, she could not but be troubled to take care of him. Okay. But when she stole the baby, I'm kind of understanding how this is written. We'll see. But when she had stolen the baby, she could not be troubled with taking care of him. So she laid him down in the furrow and plowed the field. Soon the plowman with his horses. Ah, okay. You know what? I'm feeling challenged by this. I'll do it. Let's start from the beginning. Long, long ago, before things that had happened were written down in history books, a spiteful fairy came down to the castle of an English king. She saw a beautiful baby boy, the king's little son, lying asleep, and out of mischief, she ran away with him and left her own ugly little baby there instead. But when she had stolen a baby, she could not. Jorgos. So interesting. He called him Jorgos and brought him up as if he was. When Jorgos was a big boy, he did not care to be a plowman. He wished to be a knight and fight for people. Like burger. Am I covering the mic? I feel like I am. There was no sadder knight to be found in all the fairyland than George of the Red Cross. Tech issues on my end. So we sorted out. Okay, Burger. Appreciate you. So let me get this straight. The Fairy Queen is just taking knights. Interesting. It's a bit of a plot point. There was no sadder knight to be found in all of fairyland than George of the Red Cross. After a wicked magician had him think that Una was false and bad, with a heavy heart, he rode away from the magician's cottage in the gray of dawn, with the dwarf sadly following him. This is crazy. I don't know. Too many things are missing. I'm calling this one an L. Is it Fairy Queen? What happened to his fairy mother? He just became a knight? Is he even good? And who is this Una? Is that the queen? Strange. What can be said about this? Welcome back. I'm struggling, just ignore me. It's okay. Before skillful brothers. Hmm. I don't know, internet? Oh no, it's terrible. Hmm. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not reading St. George and the Dragon. That thing was certainly not going to be a good story. And maybe I didn't feel like it was all leading up to a good story. Mm, the story, the four skillful brothers, there's some type of weird dragon with, like, I don't know, pinched nostrils. They kind of separate into four circles, but not completely. That's some type of pot belly. It's got like man arms. He's got knuckles and just man fingers. This is an abomination, if anything. Wow, I thought it was a joke, but all these stories start off with once upon a time. It's a period thing, I guess. Trendy. Verena, welcome. Where did you find these? Ririra. Literally, that's what it's called. Ririra. Is this Japanese? Maybe. But honestly, I'm kind of glad this side is this. I thought it would be very tedious to find all these stories. But yeah, this is not as long as St. George. So we'll try it. Like a last story thing. Let's see. Once upon a time, there was a poor man who had four sons. When they grew up, he told them, Dear children, I want you to see the world because I have nothing to give you. Learn to trade, find a place in the world. The four brothers packed a bag, said goodbye to their father, and left. Soon they arrived at a crossing with four directions. We shall part here, said the oldest brother. But on this day, in 4 years, we'll meet again. And in the meantime, we shall all try our luck in our own ways. All four of them went their own way, and the oldest man, wait, all four of them went their own way, and the oldest met a man who asked him what his plan was and where he was going. I want to learn a trade, he answered. The man said, Come with me, become a thief. No, said the oldest brother. Nowadays, that's not a proper trait. It always ends in a tragedy, with me being hung on the gallows. Oh, said the man, you don't have to worry about that. I will only teach you how to get things no other can get, and no one will know. The young man got persuaded, and with the help of his teacher, became a villainous thief, so skilled that nothing was safe from his quick hands. The second brother met a man who asked him the same question, what he wanted to learn. I don't know yet, said it was his answer. Well, then come with me, become a stargazer. There's nothing better, nothing, nothing is hidden from us. He was happy with this and became an adequate stargazer. He was happy with this and became such an adequate stargazer that his teacher told him that he had nothing more to teach him. He had to get on his own way. He gave him a glass as a parting gift and said, through this glass, you can see what is happening on earth and in the heavens. What? Nothing shall be hidden from you. Who did he get it? Who did he get taken in by? God? It's crazy. It's not something you just come into contact with. The third brother met a hunter who took him in, taught him, and turned him to a skilled hunter. When he said goodbye, his teacher gave him a gun and said, this gun shall never block. You will always hit what you want with it. The fourth and youngest brother also met a man who asked him about his plans. Maybe you should become a cutter. Oh no, he answered. I don't like sitting bent over all day and night using a needle and thread. With me, you will learn a whole different type of cutting art. The man answered. The youngest brother also got persuaded and learned the trade. When they said goodbye, his teacher gave him a needle. With this needle, you can sew together anything you want, even if it's as weak as an egg or as hard as steel, and so good that no one will notice the thread. After 4 years passed, the brothers met again at the crossing. They'd returned home to their father. They told him all about their adventures, which upon their father said, I shall test your skills. He looked up and told his second son, at the top of the tree is a sparrow's nest. Tell me how many eggs there are. The stargazer took his glass and looked up and said, there are 5 eggs in the nest. Then the father told the eldest son, take the eggs from the nest without the bird noticing. The skilled thief climbed up the tree and took the 5 eggs without the bird noticing anything. The father took the egg and spread them out on a table and said to a hunter, shoot all the eggs in one shot and a half. The hunter took his gun and did what his father asked him. Now it's your turn, said the father to the fourth son. You have to sew the egg and the little birds and them together again, as if nothing happened. The cutter took his needle and did it with pleasure. When he was done, the thief put the eggs back in the nest. Yes, said the father to his sons, you have learned valuable things and spent your time well. I don't know who has done the best job. I hope you will soon be able to show the world your capabilities. Not long after, a huge commotion erupted in the country because the princess was kidnapped by a dragon. The king was deeply grieved by this and announced that whoever saved her will marry her. Reasonable, for sure. The four brothers said, that is a perfect occasion to show everyone what we can do, and they decided to rescue the princess. Where is she? I will soon know, said the stargazer. He looked through his glass and said, I see her. She is far, far away. On a rock in the middle of the sea, the dragons guarding her. They went to the king and asked for a ship. Then they arrived at the rock. The princess was sitting there and the dragon was sleeping on her lap. The hunter said, I'm scared to shoot him because I might hit the princess. Then I will try, said the thief. And he stole her right from under a dragon. Interesting. He did this so quietly and skillfully that the dragon didn't notice and kept on snoring. Quickly they sailed away to sea, but the dragon had awoken. And of course, it was in a fury. It came after them. When the dragon flew right above the ship and started to attack, the hunter shot him straight in, straight in the heart. And the dragon started to crash into the sea. But the beast was so big, the whole ship got shattered in a fall. The brothers could barely hold on to some floating, uh, to some floating planks. Floating planks. The cutter took his needle, collected the pieces of the ship, and sewed it back together, of course. The ship was whole again, and they were able to safely travel home. The king was overjoyed with the return of his daughter and said, One of you shall marry my daughter, but who? You have to decide yourselves. The brothers got into a big fight. The stargazer said, If I hadn't seen the princess, all your skills wouldn't have been necessary. So she belongs to me. The thief said, it wouldn't have been it would have been of no use if I hadn't stolen her from the dragon. So she belongs to me. The hunter said, You would have all been dead if I hadn't shot the dragon. So she belongs to me. The cutter said, You would have all drowned if it wasn't for me sewing the ship back together. So she belongs to me. The king heard this and said, You're all right, but my daughter can only marry one of you. So she won't marry any of you. But I will give you all a big piece of land as a reward. The brothers answered, That is a great solution, better than us fighting. The brothers got their piece of land, and together with their father, they all lived happily ever after. Wow, incredible. That's another good ending. I thought those were dead, but apparently long ago, they still live. That's crazy. If this had been an anime, they would have all fought through like 3 seasons. All over a princess. It's an interesting concept, honestly. I bet many people, or a lot of people, don't know this. It's a rare find. Welcome back. Had to leave. Had to turn the noise down. Okay, Tier. Thank you for the heart. Heart to you too. Get some rest. Nice. Yeah, those stories weren't bad, honestly. Good reads. It took up the time very nicely. Oh, oops. The Dear Brother and the Moon Stealing Witch was good. I agree. Oh, I almost forgot to save the Dear Brother that artwork. Can't let that slip away. Where art thou? Art thou art? Oh, you're right. I didn't think about I didn't think about it that way. Hmm. Okay, got it. Sounds good. But yeah, Hosada, the internet dying, doing your best. It's been a good 2 hours. Thanks for being here, Hosada, Tsukumi, Burger posting. Thanks for the restream. Might need a new router. I guess this one. Yeah, probably. It's always good to get a new one. It's always nice to get a new one, I should say. Maybe not. It's good. Can be quite problematic. But yeah, this is NN.